I see we have some additional detail inside of here. So as you can see, just a second, here we have this type of things going on. I don't really know what's going in here, but I'm going to try to mimic that. So just isolate that. And basically I think we have some sort of hole in here. So let's just select the faces. We are going to insert that, so we have a little bit of a space here. We're going to extrude it out. Now we can select the faces here. Insert that, extrude it inside, and we have this type of hole. Basically maybe I just want to do a little bit of a variation. So let's see if we can just select here this edge. Bevel that. Yeah, it's not looking bad. But I just want to add here some more detail. So let's see if we add on every segment a loop cut. So at this point it would be maybe better if you just add an array modifier, so you're going to do the detail just once and not on every segment here. So let's see, we are going to bevel that. Yeah, it would be definitely better if we're just going to add here some array modifier. If I'm going to add a little bit more details, I'm going to do that, but for this here, it's fairly enough. Yeah, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. We are going just to think about maybe we can... Yeah, I'm going to delete this side here. So all the parts up here. So we have only this detail. And with that, we are going to add here a array modifier with the factor of y to 1. And now we can add as many as we need. But for now, I'm going just to do the details in here. So I have it extruded that. Yeah, it's not looking bad, but let's see if we just close this here. How would it be? Yeah, it's looking nice. Okay, we can work with that. We can now, what else we can do here? It's not looking bad, but the angle here is a little bit too steep, so I'm going to undo this quick. We have to maybe insert that so we are a little bit of a border. So we have a little bit of a border, but activate boundary here. Sorry, deactivate here the individual. And now we can extrude it inside a little bit and scale it accordingly, accepting the y-axis. Yep. It's a little bit of a detail, but it's looking cool. So let's add here enough segments. So it's good that we have done it in this way, because I think we're going a little bit more inside with that, so we can just add some arrays, some segments here, and it's good to go. Alright, the detail is looking fine so far. Maybe we can add a little bit more. I'm just thinking about to create something cool inside here. Maybe we are going to insert that and just extrude it inside. Yep, definitely a little bit better. Alright, done that. Now we can just create this holding things right inside here. But I think we have here this holding stuff. It's a little bit too big. So maybe we have to do that a little bit smaller. So just select them, individual origin, scale that. So like that, fairly enough. So I think I'm trying to, maybe it would be better if we just trying to mirror that on the other side. So I'm going to delete that. We're going to add here a mirror modifier on the Y and the Z axis, but we have a problem here because our point is right here. We need it in the middle of the object. So first of all, cursor toward origin, then origin to 3D cursor. Alright, that's fine. And now we are going just to do the same thing on the other side. But for that, I'm just thinking about why it's not mirroring on the Z-axis. Let's try to apply the transform, so Alt transform, and now it's working on the right area. So we can just activate the Z-axis too. Alright, we are going to do the same thing now for the other detail. So I'm going to steal here one of them. Duplicate that, make a known separation of it. So we can just take that and basically we have to, let me think. So I'm going just to hide that for now. So all the things we don't need. We need only this area. So now we see what we are doing here. And there are two of them. So I'm going to make that smaller. So basically they are just here in between these details. So we have to make it a little bit bigger. So I'm going just to put them here. And now I just want to have two of them, but we have to be aware of this hole here. I don't know if it's working if we have that. Maybe we have just to delete that, but let's try. So we can just rotate it a little bit more. Yeah, we have definitely to delete this area here. Oh man. We can do another thing here. Let's try to add here the array modifier 2. So we can just array that in the right area. Maybe we have a little bit of a problem here. Yeah, we have a problem here. I hope we can resolve that, because otherwise we can't really use the array modifier. But it's every time the big area. That's good. That's very good. I'm going to keep that. Actually, it's not looking bad. Alright, I'm going to keep that. And we are working then on the next detail. I want to add here a little bit more detail on this ring here. So to do that, simply we're going just to duplicate that. So we have two of them. I decided that because I just want to mask this area a little bit out, so it's not obvious that's just intersecting with the object. So we're closing this whole area here. But to begin with, I'm just thinking about, first of all, I'm going to hide this here. And then, or maybe we are going just to isolate the view, it's better. Alright, let's think. I'm going to apply the solidify modifier so we have just one object here. Then I just want to add a loop cut so we can delete in here this inner faces, select these two, type in bridge edge loops. Same thing here, so we can close the whole area. Alright. Now I just want to maybe, let's see, we are going to add here some steep bevel like that. It's looking cool. Maybe the inner ring, we can do it too. It's not bad. So let's see what else we can do in here. Here I just want to make it round with 6 segments. But let's invert that. Maybe we can just do that. Let's see. So we can invert that like that. So I have something like that in here. Some rounding spots. Good. Then I just want to add some further details on this. But to add them, we need to put our cursor right in here in the middle. That's very important. So we can add a cube. With this cube, scale it down. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. So it's fitting right into here. So I'm going just to drag that down. Alright, now it's very important, we have to rotate that a little bit accordingly to this vertex here, so this pivot point. So we're going to activate the 3D cursor. I'm going to rotate it slightly, so we can just add on the other side another one. Maybe we are going to do that with a mirror modifier for now, so we have it perfectly centered here, but you see we have a problem with that. I'm going to make a non-separation, delete here the mirror modifier, so we had it on that. That's totally fine. So I'm going to apply that, so we have both. And now basically we can add maybe an array modifier. With the array modifier I just want to make it round, so let's try to deactivate relative offset and activate object offset. So let's add some segments here, but you see nothing happens, so we have to do it maybe in another way. Okay, let's try another thing. I'm going to add here in the object mode an empty, a plane axis, and with that plane axis we are going to do further the same thing. So I'm going to activate here this object, select this eyedropper tool and select the empty. Now you can just rotate that and you can add some details in here. That's perfect. Now we can just go up with the counts. Oh, something is very odd here. Let's see, maybe if we just going in here and scale that down. No, we can't really do that. I'm going to undo this. Maybe apply all transform. Now it's better. Yeah, it's way better now. Perfect. Alright, we have just to make that a little bit smaller because I just want to make it on both sides. So just go into side view and make that a little bit smaller here. Perfect. Select all, duplicate that, scale by y-1. So we have just flipped that. So we can put it on the other side. Recalculate outside and we have this sort of detail in here. Alright, I just want to add here some further details. So I'm going to add a loop cut in the middle so we can just bevel that. Alright, so I just want to do some special things, but first of all we have to apply, so first of all we have just to rotate this here a little bit more because I just want to make it maybe in one segment in here. So let's see if we have here some problems now. So maybe if we select here every second face. Here we're going to have a problem, but let's keep doing. Yeah, I thought about that. We haven't enough, we have one too much. So that's a little bit of a problem. But if you put it on an area that's not really seen here, you can just do it like that. So it's not really intersecting. Alright, we are going to keep that. So let's see, I'm going back to individual origins so we can just extrude it inside. Like that, and we have some additional detail on this object. I don't like that, I don't like that. I'm going to undo this quick because I just want to select here the whole thing so we can just extrude it inside. It's looking very nice.